We're back at you again, the Happy Camper Radio, coming to you from Lilburn, Georgia, USA.
Woo!
Yeah, Daniel, welcome back to the studio. Glad to have you here.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I missed you last week. I took a week off. And, I've been keeping myself pretty busy.
Okay, good.
Getting all ready for the upcoming camping season. Wow, we got a lot to talk about there, too. On the show today, Daniel, we're going to talk about camp memberships.
Okay.
Now, maybe they're a good thing, maybe they're a bad thing. Maybe they work for some people, maybe they don't. But we'll talk it up today on the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 276. Always a pleasure to have you on board. I know you're going to enjoy it. Stick around for it.
Happy Camper Radio.
And as always, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners like yourself. All around the world. Yes, we've got many, many people from all across different nations who have reached out to us and tell us how much they enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. And we're in all the major podcast directories. Find one out there you listen to. Chances are you're going to find Happy Camper Radio right there. We're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and by all means, check us out on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hear us out there, but I tell you, if you want to see us do this show right here in the studio, that's the place to be. Look at the little red pup tent right down here in the lower right-hand corner. Point right down there, Daniel. No, you're over here. The button's right there. Okay. But anyway, go ahead and click on that, and you'll be a subscriber to the show. You're never going to miss a single episode.
Yeah.
No, Daniel, I tell you what, you have talked so much about Dragon Con over the years. Yeah. And I've sat here this past week, and I was thinking about all the times you've gone there and come back so excited, so pumped up. It's almost like a kid that just come back from a camping trip.
Yep.
I decided I think I'm going to join you next year.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking of.
Oh my goodness!
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go ahead and dress up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And
Ron Swanson?
Let's not give it away.
Oh, sorry.
I was thinking about putting on a brown suit and growing out my hair, growing out the mustache.
Wow.
And walking around with a cup of coffee in my hand.
Oh, that would be amazing.
All right. And talking bad about government.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you're joking. I can't tell. I'm seriously super excited right now.
I'm serious. I mean, it's
wow.
One thing, you're going to have the off season with camping and everything.
They have a podcast track, so
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So you might want to if you're going to come like next. Are you coming this year or next year?
I'm thinking this year.
This year.
Yeah.
You might want to get in contact with the podcasting track and see what's up with them, and maybe we could do a Happy Camper Radio show at Dragon Con.
We got the gear for it.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I did not know this, people.
Yeah. So,
this is crazy.
I wanted to wait till we got on the show to actually make that announcement. So
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I say that, Daddy, because I'm so fascinated by especially the parade. I know you don't participate in the parade.
Well, I mean, so we started in 2003, and I think the parade started in 2002 or 2001, and we did it forever and ever. And the people that kind of the clingers, I like to say, they're like, oh, let's go to the parade. They're the ones that didn't want to pay the exorbitant amount for hotel and all that stuff. But we'd sit through the parade, and half of our Saturday would be gone because we were humoring our friends, but we're not having a hassle with it that much anymore.
Oh my.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, you can watch it on the app and everything, but it's fine, but it's just I don't know. I mean, your taste changed, so
Okay. Well, anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. I mean, I don't want to get off track about camping because that's what our listeners are here for.
Oh, there's camping at Dragon Con.
Oh, is there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought I showed you. So there's a parking lot between the Hilton and the Marriott, and a lot of people will take their Winnebagos or RVs and stuff. And I'm not sure how much it is a night. I think it's $60, $70 a night, but they have their campers there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah. They're camping.
Okay.
So we need to find those people. If we can get, in the podcast, scene and interview those people camping Camping at Dragon Con. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So, yeah, anyway, that's Dragon Con, and last week you and your sister were at Comic Con.
Yep.
All right, and
Atlanta
while you were
Comic-Con.
doing that, Daniel, I was out on my computer making campground reservations for this year. I so far have 10 camping trips booked
Oof.
between March and August.
Wow.
Yeah, I got 10 trips booked, and I'm just getting started. I said, a long time ago that this year I'm going to take full advantage and go out there and enjoy my investment
Oh, yeah.
and spend time by the lake. Now, one of the things I brought up this, I believe, last week on the show, Daniel, that, if we have any of our local listeners as well as folks that come in from out of town that want to stay at Lake Sidney Lanier and stay up there in some of the Army Corps sites. Right, and it's a beautiful lake. I brag about it all the time. But, the Army Corps has decided that they were going to partner with local counties to help run and maintain those campgrounds.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this up because if you go to some of the websites on recreation.gov and look at some of the campgrounds up there, you're going to find that they don't have any dates available yet. And I'm surprised they have not updated them. Now, over on the southern part of the lake, those campgrounds are going to be run and maintained by the Hall County Department of Parks and Leisure. Now, on the northern part of the lake, they're going to be handled by the Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
You've got to go to their websites, okay, in order to make your reservations. You're not going to find them available on recreation.gov. So that's something to keep in mind if you happen to be a local resident here in Georgia, and we've got quite a few of those too.
Oh, yeah.
As well as some of the folks from out of town that want to come visit.
Shout out to Honey Guy.
You need to go ahead and check this out in advance.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's the Hall County Department of Parks and Leisure, as well as the Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation. I went ahead and made my reservations already, and I got some great camping days ahead up there.
Nice.
All right. Plus, I'm going to be going back to my to visit my family up in Pennsylvania here, and I'll be
Ooh.
staying at the KOA campground in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be
How
up there
far
for
is that
5
from
days.
our buddies?
Our buddy.
They called into the show
Oh,
a while ago.
I know who you're talking about. Our
Yeah.
friends Jody and Heidi Bates. Now they're
Yeah.
up in Massachusetts.
No. There was a couple. I guess they retired.
Oh,
since
I know
then.
who you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah,
the
Minville or something.
Yeah,
What was
the KOA campground up there.
Yeah.
The Meadville KOA.
Meadville, yeah, that was
right.
it.
No,
Yeah.
that's way on the other side of the
Oh,
state.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
But
know the Northeast.
The reason we're going out to Bellefonte is because that's where we have family
Oh,
that
okay.
Originated many years ago.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a lot of heritage up there. There's a lot of memories, and we're going to go up there. My brother's coming up from Pittsburgh. We're going to spend 5 days up there, and I'm really excited about it. And of course, then from there, I'm going to head on back to Tarentum, Pennsylvania, where
Oh,
I'm going to be
boy.
staying back at the Mountaintop Campground where I stayed when I was last up there. So yeah, it's going to be a great trip. A lot of places I'm going to be visiting this year.
That's awesome.
And yeah,
I'm jealous.
Daniel,
14 years.
keep counting, Daniel. It's going to go by.
I'm counting.
Believe me, it's
I
going
got
to go
an
by
app.
so fast. It really will.
I hope so.
Mhm. But yeah, Daniel, on the show today, I want to talk about camp memberships.
Okay.
Now, do you belong to any type of membership at all?
No, I can't remember what the membership my parents were with, but I know that if my mom kept paying for it, that we would have inherited it. I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
Now, Daniel, there's a lot of them out there. Okay.
I know Coast to Coast. I know that's a thing.
There are some. I mean, I can take and leave. The one membership that I swear by, and I don't know if you want to call it a membership or not, but anyway, that's the one that I got through the Army Corps of Engineers, the America the Beautiful Senior Lifetime Discount Access Pass, right? And once you hit that magical age, you can go ahead and get that for $80. It's good for a lifetime. You don't have to renew it.
Yep.
All right. You just got to make sure that you protect that card like it's gold, because if you lose it, you got to buy another one.
Oh boy.
Okay. So yeah, mine is like the American Express. I don't leave home without it.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, I keep that in my wallet. That right there, Daniel, has paid for itself the first 2 camping trips
Oh, yeah.
that I went on. And the neat thing about it is both Hall County and Forsyth County on Lake Lanier do honor those passes.
Oh, nice.
Even though they have taken over the maintenance of the campground and they're running the campground now, you can still go ahead and use your access pass. The only thing is you've got to pay your full site in full, like you didn't have that membership, okay? And then you've got to email them with your information, with the card number, your name on the card, the site, the days you're going to be there. Email them, and the very next day, they'll refund 50% back on your credit card.
Okay.
So, yeah, it still works out. It's still a bargain, And like I say, you can find that information on recreation.gov. And, if you're at that magical age, if you enjoy the Army Corps sites throughout the country, no matter where you're at, or even here locally in Georgia, get a hold of that pass because it will save you a ton of money.
Well, I know if you're one of those people that camp a lot or you're a full-time RVers, I think a while ago I remember some full-time RVers that were talking to us, and they said they have like 3 memberships, and it's saved so much money as they've gone from place to place. So yeah, if you're really gonna do it, I equate it to like Sam's Club or Costco. If you're gonna use it, it's worth it. But if you're not going to use it, it's, whatever.
Well,
but I think it's, if you're a hardcore camper, I think it's a good deal for the most part.
I was weighing that decision when I decided I wanted to buy a KOA rewards card.
Yeah.
Like a rewards membership.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because when I made my reservations online for the Bellefonte KOA, all right, I was offered the opportunity to go ahead and get that membership. Now, it was only $36.
Yeah.
$36 for the year, but it almost paid for itself with that one reservation that I made up there. So, now I may be using it again at other KOAs.
Oh, yeah. KOAs are everywhere.
Yeah, and, I haven't decided upon one, but I'm thinking about going back to the campground up on Lake Hartwell, the Springfield campground up there, which is run by the Army Corps. There's a KOA up there on Hartwell.
I know, it's been almost 10 years now, but I know there was a KOA that me and Deidre stayed very close to Chattanooga, and that was really nice. And you know how me and Deidre love Chattanooga, but KOAs are really good. They're really nice.
And what prompted me to bring this discussion up on the show, Daniel, is, a couple weeks ago, I decided to sit down and review all the memberships that I've had.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of which I still have but don't use.
Yeah.
Okay. And I realized that there's some memberships that I'm spending money on that's going out the window because I'm not going to be using them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the ones here, and I'm not going to go ahead and identify this business, but there's a local spa here in the area that I have been a membership. I had a membership with them for quite some time.
Okay.
All right. And I decided I wasn't going to go ahead and use it anymore.
Okay.
So I went ahead and called up and canceled. All right. Now, I didn't have any type of a contract with them. I hate that word contract, Daniel. I just can't stand it. It's got such a negative sound to it, doesn't it?
It works. It works.
And I think we get that from the cell phone industry. When the cell phones came out, everybody was getting you to sign a contract. All right, and it's one of those things. It's tough to get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I don't know if there's any campground memberships out there that are tough to get out of like that. But those kind of things I tend to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, when I went ahead and canceled this membership, it was like pulling teeth.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't have a contract. It was month to month.
Yeah.
I wanted out of it. All right. And oh my heavens, I had to call them up. This went on for a couple months, Daniel, because they kept rebilling my credit card. And I said, didn't I call you folks up and cancel? All right. Yeah. So those kind of, I'm just real particular about where I'm spending my money right now, especially in my retirement years. All right. I would rather take that money and spend it on a campground. okay, rather than give it to an organization or a company that I'm not going to be doing business with anymore.
So I think, like, I have hardly any information on this, but I know, like, when you sign up for stuff like TV stuff like Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or whatever like that, there are certain sites that will, like, kind of spoof a credit card. And so, like, it almost forces you to reapply for whatever service every single month. And I think it works for everything. So, I mean, everyone can Google it, but I know that there are ways that you can subscribe to stuff, but it asks you if you want to continue every single month. And if you don't, they get nothing, and you're not. It's like a stopgap. It's like, I like to think of it as what is that stuff? What is that thing that helps people from seeing stuff on your VPN? It's kind of like a VPN for memberships.
Right.
So I think that's kind of cool. I haven't really used it. I probably should, but, like, I mean, there are ways, like, as many ways as there are for companies to cheat you, there are also ways for you to, fight back. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta do some of your research.
Precisely the reason you've got to look at your credit card statement every month and go through it line by line to make sure those were the charges that you authorized. Okay. But, I'll tell you, there's another membership that I got when I bought my RV, Daniel. And I'm very glad I did. I got the CoachNet. Now, this happens if you're out on the road somewhere and you break down. Okay, you need roadside assistance. That is a great service to have. And I got a 3-year membership, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and renew it. Because I had to use it once already.
Okay.
Okay. And it really paid for itself.
Nice.
Okay. It's a little bit pricey, but it's a great peace of mind to have. Now, some folks have AAA. That's okay. All right. But let's keep in mind, too, that you're pulling that RV. I can't say that AAA will cover the RV. Maybe they'll cover your tow vehicle. I don't know. All right. There's a lot of fine print. And again, this is why I prefer to stay away from contracts, because when you sign a contract, Daniel, chances are there's going to be 4 or 5 pages behind that with real fine print that you're going to need a lawyer to decipher through to actually explain to you what that is.
Yeah.
And I have not seen any of those long contracts with all that long language that actually benefits the consumer.
Oh, yeah.
Those were written to benefit the seller. Okay, so that's why I prefer to stay away from those. But yeah, there's some camp memberships out there, and like I say, you really got to take a look at them. You may have them offered to you. You may stumble across them. Okay, and see if they work for you.
Well, so there's memberships and there's, like, discount clubs, because I think a few years ago, me and Deidre joined, like, a discount club, and you get discounts on so many sites or whatever. But, like, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to save money camping. It's just it's just a matter of doing it. It's just like shopping. It's like coupons and memberships and all that. I mean, I'm a state park person, and, like, I didn't know anything about Army Corps of Engineers, passes and, campsites and anything like that until you started camping. And, like, back when I was a kid and everything, like, state parks weren't that bad, but, like, they're just as expensive as, like, any other campsite. And, now that you got your discount pass and everything, I mean, Army Corps, I'm changed. I've changed religions. It feels like, from state parks to, Army Corps. It's amazing how cheap it was, because, like, when I was a kid, it was all about, we want to go on vacation, we want to stay somewhere, we want to have fun, whatever, but we want to do it on the cheap. So, like, camping was, I feel like the reason we camped was, like, 50% of the reason we camped was it's cheaper than a hotel. But, like, nowadays it's almost comparable to a hotel. So you got to do what you got to do to find those discounts.
I think every state has a Department of Natural Resources, all right, where they do have state-run campgrounds. Now, here in Georgia, there are plenty. All right, there's a give and take here. They do have a discount membership for senior citizens. All right, and you got to go to the website to get that, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, it's not. You're not getting a 50% off deal like
Yeah.
you were if you were to book with recreation.gov.
Yeah.
All right, with recreation.gov, you've got a number of those campgrounds that are going to close at the end of the season. Where here in Georgia, for example, these campgrounds run year round.
Yep.
You can make a reservation any time of the year. All right. And, you know, if you enjoy cold weather camping, if you don't mind being out there, and like in North Georgia where they do get some snow occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Something else I want to say, anyone out there who's a veteran who has a disability percentage, if you're a fan of Florida and like to go to Florida, you can get a free state park pass to Florida. You get free admission to Florida if you have a percentage of disability.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't yet. I'm working on it, but like...
Is that veterans only with disabilities?
Yes.
I would like to see them give all veterans a discount.
I mean, that would be
but-
nice. I mean, thank goodness I've got my national park thing, but like, yeah, me and my wife Deidre, we went down there. We went to a state park, and you know, I showed them my military ID, and they're like, "Oh, are you disabled?" I was like, "No, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get a percentage." And they're like, "Well, if you were any percentage disabled, you could have a lifetime pass to every Florida state park forever for free."
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So just to put that out there for anyone who is a disabled veteran, that if you like to go to Florida, that is an option.
I like the idea that veterans will get discounts, but I really hate to hear any veteran be disabled. It's just, it's a sad situation,
I mean,
you know.
Disabled. For the people out there who are veterans who are quote unquote disabled, it's a different thing. It's very convoluted.
I hear what you're saying.
It's convoluted. Yeah. It's very it's very convoluted. I really don't know how to explain it, but people that are in the military circle, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Daniel, I try to take advantage of many memberships as I possibly can that are affordable, that will work for me. And again, there's a lot out there that's not going to work for me.
Well, I know that I can't remember the one that my parents. I'm gonna think of it like after this episode.
Oh,
obviously.
of course, that's how it always works.
Obviously, but like I know they bought like certain sections of America, and they would pay like maybe $500 a month or $500 a year, and every time they went to a site in that area, they could stay there for 2 weeks for free and then go somewhere else, then like for a day, then come back there and stay 2 weeks for free. So as long as you're just moving around, and I know people probably on this podcast are screaming the title of it, but like as long as you're moving around, you could stay for free all the time, as long as you're moving around every 2 weeks.
Wow.
I'm going to think of it.
Well, Daniel, it's 1 month from tomorrow is when I'll be pulling out of the driveway for my first destination, and that's the Grand Design Rally in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Nice.
5 days out there. I've got some family out there that I'll be visiting. That's why I went ahead and decided to stay a little extra.
Yeah, you were telling me about the schedule. It's like a convention in itself.
Oh, my heavens, yes. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And, it's a very big campground, too. Now, I did not rent the golf cart because I need to get my exercise in. My girl, Sadie, she's going to need her exercise,
we have a golf
too.
cart.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's I've got a lot of things I want to be doing while I'm out there, and that's going to kick it off. That's
Nice.
going to kick off the 2024
I can't wait to
camping
go down
season.
to Brunswick.
Yeah, and that's going to be
fun.
coming up in April.
I can't
so
wait.
I've got 2 Grand Design rallies, and I'm really looking forward to it because I've never been to one before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some YouTube videos. I've talked to folks that have been there, that have done that, and they say, yeah, you got to make it a point to actually get out there and try to get to the national rally, too. And I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Where's that at?
I think it's in Indiana.
Oh, boy.
Okay. But, yeah, I'll make it
We're
out
going
there
to Indiana
eventually.
later this year.
You were
for
saying, yes.
Yeah, we're going. I don't know how many people know about this, but there's going to be I think it's on April 8th or 9th. There's going to be a total lunar eclipse. It's going to go everywhere from, I think, Austin, I think it and it goes across. I know it goes across Indiana and up, wherever. And so we're gonna go up to Evansville, Indiana, and hopefully it doesn't rain, or hopefully there's not a lot of clouds, and we're gonna try to see a total solar eclipse. So,
Well, as long as I don't go with you, Daniel, you're going to have good weather.
I hope so. Yeah, keep all the bad weather down here. My gosh,
I'll
please,
do the best I can.
please, as much as you can. If you have that power, yes, keep it down here.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what power I do have right now, and that is our featured campground of the week, Daniel, right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
Oh, Daniel, the state of Kentucky is beautiful.
Yes.
Have you ever been up there?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Mammoth Caves, and they're the state of caves. They've got the rolling hills, and, it's beautiful. We went to Louisville one time.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I loved it. It was amazing. I want to go back.
Well, I tell you, I enjoy being around fellow campers.
Yep.
But, sometimes you want to get away to a very small campground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's one up here on Lake Cumberland. It's the Fall Creek Campground. It's near Monticello, Kentucky. Now, the Fall Creek Campground is beautiful. It's situated along the shores of the vast Lake Cumberland in southern Kentucky.
Aha.
So southern Kentucky, we got Tennessee right between us and
Yep.
Kentucky, so it's not too far away. Visitors enjoy the 10-acre site and its 10 shaded campsites. All of these sites are waterfront,
Aha.
making them prime locations for weekend recreation. Fall Creek has a day use area, picnic shelter, and public parking. Amenities include the regular flush toilets, showers, drinking water, and dump station. The boat ramp and a playground is located within the park. There's a lot of information right here on the website, and we're going to have a link to it all week long on happycamperradio.com. Look for the featured campground tab, and you can click on that and find all of the information. Make sure you read the know before you go items, and by all means, please burn your firewood locally and burn it on site.
Mm-hmm.
Protect your forest from those tree-killing pests. Okay, and that's exactly how you do it. For more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org. Also have a link to that also on happycamperradio.com. It's a beautiful campground. And I'll tell you, Daniel, if we ever get up there, maybe we can coordinate our time off.
Oh, yeah. I'm a
and
cave guy,
take
so
two,
there's
take
caves
two
all over
of
the
those
place.
10 sites, get them side by side.
There you go.
And if we're right by the lake, I'm going to be as comfortable as can be.
There you go.
But it's a great campground. I'm looking forward to visiting it sometime. It's not too far away from us right here in the metro Atlanta area.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Fall Creek Campground, and it is our featured campground of the week right here, Daniel, on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel on happycamperradio.com.
And by all means, if you have a campground that you want to feature on the program, I want you to get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, or Dad's Garage here himself.
Hey, it's Daniel at happycamperradio.com.
And by all means, be sure to include a link to the campground website. Well, Daniel, that's going to wrap up today's edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show. I am so glad to have you back in the studio.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing it again real soon. So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take some time here over the next week. I've got campgrounds booked all the way into August.
Yes, you do.
I want to take a look at September, too, that's when the fall kicks off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and cooler temperatures. Don't have to power the air
Dragon Con is
conditioner.
Labor Day weekend, so keep that open.
Keep that in mind, Mr. Swanson, right? Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly as I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. We're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and by all means, check us out on our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper, and we'll do it again real soon. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye, everybody.